All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Professional Time Wasters. I'm joined, as always, by Coolshirt.
Hello.
All right. And once again, I assume you can read. This is like the third or fourth time I've stopped and started the recording. But Twitch.
Don't worry, we'll make it to 6.
Yeah, we will. Twitch bad.
Yeah, Twitch is bad.
Thank you all for no, I'm kidding.
Water is wet.
Yeah. So I just wanted to just talk about Twitch. I have a huge bone to pick with them. I've never really liked the platform, and I especially don't like the culture that the platform promotes.
And yet you support the creators on there.
Okay. If the creator has an alternative way of watching, I generally will watch them there instead. But I also understand why people stream on Twitch. I mean, it is the largest platform. It's the most established live streaming platform, you know? So why Twitch? Why now? Well, recently, once again, they banned another streamer, a very prominent streamer. I wouldn't even say right wing.
They banned Asmongold again, my boy.
Yeah, they banned the Roach King himself, as they call him.
Papa Nurgle got banned.
Yeah.
How could they?
And
now you can't stink up the fucking timeline anymore.
All for saying, and I don't know if this quote is completely correct, but that third world countries and people from third world countries shouldn't get or don't have an opinion on what the US does in terms of the Iran war. Even just saying that, maybe flag this video, I don't care. Because just like that, I don't care about that war either. But what I will say is Twitch is the epitome of double standards. It's the epitome of everything wrong with modern society. I genuinely think you can look at Twitch and kind of get the, layout or the, you can really see, actually, let's say it like that, the flaws of modern society emanating through Twitch. You have rampant, I wouldn't say sexism, but just soft core adult material. And that is what the site pushes. And in my opinion, Twitch should be an 18 plus website. Do I think that that's smart? Of course not. Do I think it's financially viable if that were to happen? Absolutely not. No one would be going to the platform because there's rules that govern adult only spaces different than like a regular space of that nature.
Yeah.
And Twitch wouldn't be able to survive that way. Some people would argue that Twitch is already dying, that it's on its way out. And I'll say this, if this is what dying looks like, sign me the hell up, because I'd argue that Twitch is doing just fine, if not better and better every year.
Yeah. And
it's very doom and gloom when people say that, and you end up with people that will say, oh, the end of Twitch is coming. This is the final straw. Like, we need to revolt and not do this, not do that. But I've got some news for you. That time never ends up coming. I'm still waiting for the supposed end of the world, that the first time I ever heard of it was 14 years ago. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the imminent collapse that's going to happen any day now of every single country in the world. I'm waiting for the nukes to go flying, for society to collapse and everything like that.
Yeah, I know. You can't have it quick enough. Like, what the fuck?
But they've been saying that this is going to happen for years. And it's the same thing with Twitch, honestly. And I'm not even an Asmongold fan. Cool. I know, Coolshirt, you are.
I am indeed, yes.
But for me, like, I personally don't see the appeal of somebody going around and saying what everybody's thinking. And at least out loud, I don't find that entertaining. It's one of the reasons why, like, at least for myself, I struggle thinking of podcast topics and like things to discuss on here. Not really because there isn't anything to talk about, but just it feels like for so long, and especially nowadays, there's so many people that will tell you the problems that society faces, that Twitch faces, that all of these websites face, and everything. Yeah. But no one gives you solutions, and no one, and especially the people in power or the people that quote unquote have a voice. I despise that. I'll talk about that here in a bit. But there's a group of people that'll speak, and that's all they're doing. They're just talking. They're not talking to you. They're not. It's directional talking, and I don't like it. I very much am wired mentally to, if you have a problem, you need to find the solution and start making progress towards that solution. And that it's not just Asmongold that does that. It's a lot of people on there. I mean, you have those. You have the ones that scream from the rooftops that you're a bad person. You have the, women, some men, mostly women. Damn, I just sounded like our president right there.
Mostly women.
Women.
How dare they?
Women, some women, not all, but some. No, I mean, that just take advantage of the term. I didn't even know the term Twitch meta. Do you remember when that became a real thing? Here, like,
not really.
So Twitch meta, like this really sprung up probably about at this point, like 5-6 years ago. It's the quote unquote most effective tactic to get viewers on Twitch. And at least for women, you've had it cycle through a couple things specifically recently. The first big one was the hot tub streams. You remember that? Where you would just have women pulling up in their room and filling up like a little inflatable pool, or those like $10 like white.
I feel like that was everywhere, dude. That was insane.
Yeah. Well, that was the start of the quote unquote hot tub meta. Then you moved on to the body painting meta, where you basically just had naked women streaming with, of course, like their nipples taped and, other things like that, while they're just either painting their body to like make it look like they have clothes on. That gets stamped out, and we move on to the next meta, which that was, what was it? I had it off the second camera angle meta. Do you remember that one?
Oh, you mean the fucking like clear, like the ass angle with the fucking camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just.
You know what's crazy is that like you could probably like there's like 5 creators on Twitch that you could literally like draw all that back to. By the way.
Yeah, well, you have the one person, of course, the one person that screws it up for everyone, and they go and they do it, and then you have all the copycats or people that are just shamelessly, and specifically on Twitch, I see this on Twitch the most, that are just shamelessly copying each other. They don't provide anything. They're not talented. They're not funny. Kind of like myself. No, yeah. And they just copy. That's all they do. There's no originality there. You can see it, the backgrounds are filled with random anime, video game, movie, kind of stuff. And that's the background. That's one thing. But the cameras are always focused on,
very specific things.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I'd argue that the new meta for Twitch, because of course the backlash was strong with all of these.
Strong with this one.
There you go. The backlash was strong with that, to where Twitch inevitably, after begrudgingly, did take action. And I would argue that the newest trend is just VTubing. I'd argue that that is a Twitch meta right now. No one wants to talk about it.
I would agree. Yeah.
No one wants to talk about it, but I mean, you see creators of all types and it, once again, mostly women, some men, but
that's right. Throw those women down the
okay. I will admit there are good ones, Sometimes, especially if they have Burger King crowns on their VTuber models. Those are the best. But
that's wild.
But what I say by that is you have people that just chase trends. They were popular in the past, or they're not as popular now because algorithms change. I have my own big issue with algorithms, but
love them or hate them, you can't get rid of them.
no, you really can't. But what they end up doing is just going and taking something that someone else is doing, and they emulate it for themselves. I can list names, but this isn't that kind of podcast or show. We're not going to go and start just calling people out for no reason. That's just unnecessary. Except you, Hassan Piker, you animal abusing fuck.
Yeah, I was going to say, we call people out all the time. What do you want about?
Yeah, but I mean, like, just the ones that are doing innocent things, like not attacking dogs, sponsoring terrorists. What else? Oh, calling for the death of anyone, some political figures, some non-political figures, things of that nature. Having, intercourse or sex on stream, all things that...
Oh, wow, we're going for the whole suite.
Yeah, all things that, once again, happen on Twitch. A platform that, mind you, I would argue isn't for kids, but is used by kids. And Twitch in specific knows this. Like, there's no way that they don't know it. And it's not even disappointing at this point. It's straight up wrong. What Twitch does is wrong. And there is political bias there. It's gone on for so long that I can't sit here and say that it's ignorance. It has to be malice. I mean, it's malice. I know it's malice. There's a lot of people.
It's balance. Come on, man. Malice, not balance. But yeah, either way, words. They're hard for some people.
They are. No, but it's malice. And to anyone that says that Twitch doesn't take action against people that they don't like, that they don't agree with, I'm sorry, but you're living in a different reality. And by the way, when I say take action, I don't just mean banning people. There's more ways to affect somebody and to go after somebody that uses your platform, Twitch in this case, uses a platform that they don't own to silence somebody. And once again, that comes back to algorithms, like suppressing individual channels. I mean, it wasn't just like Asmongold, who recently got banned. A VTuber that I watch, that I enjoy, she was recently banned for saying certain things off platform. That's another thing, that weren't harmful at all. She was just going on talking about how she hopes that, these people find God because in her mind, they're a little faithless or whatever. Religion aside, that's not the worst thing ever fucking said on that platform or off that platform, And
it won't be the last.
No. And at least for me, it comes down to culture, and Twitch is a very... Yeah, it does. I would argue that the world that we live in right now, and it's been building for a while, has kind of turned into a, like, criminal worship culture,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because, and look, there's a fine line between being rebellious, being anti-establishment, and being a criminal, okay? But what I remember, like, growing up is, like, there's a ton of movies and shows and all that, it's like, oh, hey, we're sticking it to the man. How are we sticking it to the man? Let's go rob a bank. It's like, what? Yeah, we're anti-establishment. Okay, we're anti-establishment. What are we going to do? Let's go burn down that guy's house. What? You
tell me you don't want to go do that? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't get my rocks off by recording myself burning down entire, like, warehouses. It's just not my cup of tea,
you're no fun.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, sorry, guys. Not really into all that horse shit.
Yeah. Makes you think it's like, oh, that's some Fed speak here. I hate the feds as much as everybody else. And
oh, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like What do you think about this? What do you think? I know you don't like Twitch. I know you don't like.
Well, I mean, like, it's clearly an overstep on like free speech, which they claim to base their terms of service off of free speech, but it's clearly like selective free speech because it's like you can hate on certain groups of people as long as you're a part of a specific political persuasion, and if you're not a part of
Or
Camp
gender.
A, no, the gender. Yeah, gender does matter a little. Like you can get away with pretty much anything if you're a woman. Just not the lawsuits though. If you get sued by some other creator for what you do, then you're pretty much fucked. Like what happened with Ethan Klein and all those OnlyFans whores.
Yeah.
And what was it? Hijaba the Hutt. I forget her name. The one that just eats on stream all day. I forget her name.
Frogman.
Yeah, Frogan. I think it's Frogan. Yeah, her.
I
yeah,
call her Frog.
I don't know.
I call her Frogman.
Hey, that works. Honestly, I mean, that's basically the name. But yeah, you got shit like that going down. I mean, it's really just a bunch of creators that kind of conglomerately just suck, and they all kind of are friends with specifically Hassan Piker.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think, like, I understand that Hassan and his little clique is bad.
Hassan Piker.
Hassan Piker. No. They're bad. I do agree, but they're only a single, like a small drop in what makes Twitch truly bad. I mean,
I agree.
It's probably also one of the fakest fucking platforms I've ever seen. And what I mean by that is it is full of people whose main goal and whose entire job it is to make you feel like you have a connection with them, but who actually could give less of a shit about you. I mean, I could sit here and be like, oh yeah, they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. They wouldn't, you know.
I mean, the thing is, you're probably right.
No, they wouldn't. I mean, we've seen Twitch streamers exploit homeless people for views. We've seen them exploit other, like just
the legendary Johnny Somali.
We've seen them go and harass people all over the world, other than, you know, in certain countries and in certain states where, you know, they of course,
you know,
aren't brave
enough. The
enough.
law doesn't really matter, you know, or that too, yeah.
And it's kind of they don't see any repercussion. There's no moral repercussion there. They actively scam their audience in all sorts of ways with overpriced garbage products that they will, of course, try to sell to you. Look at Pokimane and her cookie situation.
Is that fucking cookie thing? Oh my god. I haven't thought about that in a long time. That shit was so dumb.
I mean, crypto scams are just associated with, you know, with online streamers and content creators nowadays. Mind you, if there's ever a professional time waster coin, I want to put this out right now. I have no association with this. And if I do, please find me and, you know, do what you need to do to get your money back.
You just don't stop harassing us. If we do ever have a professional time wasters coin.
Which
it also NFTs, it counts for NFTs too.
NFTs are the same thing.
Yeah.
But you
they're
know,
all fucking dumb as shit.
Yeah. But it's all stuff that's sold to impressionable, you know. Look, if you like the content and you want to buy the stuff, buy the stuff. Okay, it's your money. Do what you want with it. But most of it's cheap Chinese fucking crap. Most of it is way over fucking priced. They'll sit there, they'll lie to you, they'll fucking fabricate things, and you know, if that doesn't work or if they feel like they don't need to, they'll just insult you for not buying it.
Yep.
And those are the people at the end of the day that are considered the top pillars of society and the top pillars of Twitch. Scam artists, crooks, assholes is the best way to put it. And Twitch staff,
I would agree.
Twitch staff, I'd argue, are just as bad, but they're different. Twitch staff are all losers.
Yeah.
And they're not even the good kind of loser where, you know, it's like, I joke all the time that I'm a fucking loser because I am.
I mean,
but
you are.
Yeah. But I don't go around trying to get the attention of, you know, people that I deem to be popular. I don't run around chasing famous people and be like, hey, be friends with me, be friends with me. No, and there was a quote that I learned about like 5 years ago from a friend of mine that told me, don't ever go and beg for attention from anyone. Like it's just sad, it's pathetic. Instead, go out and create things yourself. Don't fully consume, and make people want to associate themselves with you. If you want to meet somebody or be friends with somebody, work on yourself first. Don't go and specifically target one person, mind you. That's not what I'm saying. Don't take it out of context. But when you provide something, you get something in return. That sounds so awful, specifically for friendship, but I don't mean necessarily like go and build like a functioning 6-figure business, but just be a good person. Good things happen. Sometimes, not all the times, but most of the time. Don't be weird. Don't be fucking going out and messaging and doing all this weird crap too. Because the other thing that Twitch has kind of fostered, I'd argue, is the parasocial aspect of it. And
100%.
I'd argue that there's been a rise in like parasocial like issues, especially on the internet. They've been around for a while. Mind you, Twitch is bad, but they're not like Valorant or what's that other one, VR chat level bad. So we've got that going, we're not that level. And no one here's a Minecraft YouTuber. So, the kids are safe. Roblox is what I was thinking of.
Ah, yes, Roblox. Lovely platform.
Which, mind you, my algorithm, I'm thankful that I'm older, but every once in a while, a Roblox content creator creeps into my fucking thing, or like you'll see that they apparently have a show, and it is horrifying, dude. It is genuinely horrifying.
I don't even want to know.
You got anything to add here about this?
No. I think we should just nuke all the, Roblox content creators and maybe just get rid of Roblox in general at this point. I think it's become too much of a force of bad than good, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
I think we could do a dedicated video on freaking Roblox if
we did. Funny enough.
I know. We could do another one.
Yeah, we could. We could
talk about.
We really could. That's how bad of a cesspool that is. But no.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Chris Hansen, for coming back.
Yeah, thank you. No, but what I mean by the parasocial aspect, and it's beyond just like online stuff. Like let me preface this right now before we get into this next little part. I do not wish for anything to happen to anyone. I do not hope that any of this happens, and I'm not saying to go do this. I hate that I have to say that, but I am also not your dad, which I'm going to be honest, most of the people that do this stuff don't have them anyway. So,
ooh, roasted.
Yeah.
Damn, hit them right where it hurts.
No, but I'm genuinely surprised with all these conventions and things of that nature that the only issue, at least widely known issue that's happened, was the TwitchCon Emiru situation.
That's not the only widely known one.
Oh,
so that's like the most publicized one.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, like I've heard of other stories that are
and
a little dark as well, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, there was
most of them are just people getting roofied, though.
Oh no, someone's been killed.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, someone lost their life for something like that, live on stream as well. This was not in America. This was in another country, but that doesn't make it any less bad. And ever since 2020, it feels like the internet operates differently. It feels like society operates differently. It feels like we don't get together as people. We don't really see people as much anymore. It's numbers, it's usernames, it's all that, and I think Twitch is a big issue or a big part of why that is, because it doesn't promote functional social skills, in my opinion.
I kind of agree.
It's a lot like, if you go and how to put it like this, you go to a party, right? And there's 50 dudes in this house and one chick. Everyone is there. Like, let's assume everyone's single, you know, other than the chick who's going to lie to you and make you think that she's not, you know, because
Obviously.
she wants attention. Guys can do this too, but it's mostly women, specifically on the internet and specifically on Twitch. And it turns into how to put it this way, a simp fest. And it's not helpful to anyone other than the bank accounts of the individual who are being simped for. Mind you, can I ask a question before we continue on? Like, I haven't seen it in a while, you know? Generally, but where the fuck are some of these like top donators and people getting all this money?
Have you ever heard of credit card debt?
Yes, I have, but like
That's why that's my assumption. I don't fucking know. I've never donated it to Twitch before.
I've never donated to any streamer ever.
I mean, I've donated it to like, you know, ministries and stuff, but that's kind of different.
Yeah, but like dropping triple, quadruple digits, you know. Now for charity, that's one thing. You know, I've seen the charity donations that streamers do. I have my issues with that, but we're not talking about charities. But where it's just like, hey, I need a new chair, or hey, I need a new computer. And it's always a girl asking for this most of the time that you see the moment they log on. I've seen one in specific who was like, I need a new bed because I stream from here. And before the stream even really started, they already had $3,000 over their goal.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And of course, the individual starts crying, making it seem all emotional. But the moment they turn that camera off, you don't know what they're buying it, you know? Yeah, sometimes they'll send you a picture or they'll post a picture to social media, but you never know. When it comes back to the scamming aspect of it, I find it disgusting. I find it reprehensible morally. I mean, look, I understand that, you know, you need to make money, you gotta eat, things like that, but I don't think it's responsible. I don't think it's right, you know, to be one of the most successful fucking quote unquote successful streamers where everyone knows that you make a ton of money. Like, for example, I'm not a fan of Tectone.
Dictone, yeah. I mean,
yeah, that guy. Yeah. But I mean, I have a lot of respect for when he went on that unsubscribe podcast and he basically said, I'm a millionaire. I made a shit ton of money. Most of the successful people with numbers like me have made this much money. You know, I can respect that. And
it's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. Like just coming out and saying it. And I also haven't seen him begging for money or going out and saying, hey.
Oh, you haven't watched one of his fucking subathons, have you?
Oh, God.
It's funny, though. They're great, trust me. He's clearly joking the entire time, but like there's like chat incentives to like donate money for like subathons and stuff like that.
I know what a subathon is. There's certain creators that I swear to God.
But like he's actively said that like he hates doing subathons.
Yeah. I know someone else, like another streamer, that has said multiple times that they also despise them. And like, no, but the main reason I bring this up is because I'm not going to give names, but there's one that I swear to God, they have a subathon every other month or like every fucking month. It seems like.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's just wild to me. And once again, your money, do what you want, but you don't have the right to go on and complain. Gas is $4 fucking. I can't afford gas. I can't afford food. I can't afford a house. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. Nintendo Switch 2 is too fucking expensive. RAM's too fucking expensive. Yet you're donating fucking thousands of dollars, hundreds, thousands of dollars to fucking random ass people on the internet purely because you want attention, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Now, politics. The one part I've been dreading.
You're not excited about politics? Come
no,
on, man.
I'm not. I'm not brave enough for politics. At least not yet.
I like that reference.
No. So let's go and, finally talk about the elephant in the room. Twitch and their staff and a lot of the more vocal people on the platform and off the platform lean a certain
retarded.
There you go. They're completely fucking retarded. They lean a certain way. And look, you can lean whatever way you want. You want to lean left, you want to lean right. I don't care. That's your right as a human being to do. But what isn't right is when you take your stance and you use that to suppress people that you don't agree with. Whether it's you don't agree with them on one thing or you agree with them wholeheartedly. For any reason, if you like left Twix over right Twix, that's the kind of politics I'm into. What Twix is better, left or right? What's your answer?
It's obviously the right Twix. Come on, man.
No, you're wrong.
Go fuck yourself.
The left Twix is superior.
All right, we're gonna have a civil war real quick while everybody watches this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the right.
No, it's the left Twix. You always go for the left Twix first.
No, you always go for the right.
No, I hold the Twix.
What are you, left-handed?
I'm ambidextrous.
Okay, it means you're retarded. All right, nice.
Depending on what, I'm going to be honest, depending on what hand I'm holding the package in, depends. No, I go left either way. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I just gaslit all of you. I'm so sorry.
He's a fucking liar. I knew it.
Okay, but that right there is an example of fake outrage and bullshit that people will say on the internet. And
I know, and people are going to think that I'm actually mad at him.
I know. And people are going to think that I wasn't serious about him being wrong.
Yeah, but I'm serious about being right, dumbass.
No, I mean, I can't get over the Twitch, the Twix thing.
Why'd you bring that up? It's so stupid.
Because it's funny. Because that's
it is.
That's the perfect kind of example that you can bring up for the stupidity of what most of these people online fucking argue about, and it's both fucking sides. I hate saying both sides because it's not just two sides. Everyone, it's that level. And Twitch specifically targets a certain demographic of people. And I can sit here and not tell you who they are.
Terminally ill, always online individuals.
No, what I mean, for political and religious and things like that.
Oh no, I'm just gonna call them out. I mean, I'm sorry.
They prey on weak-minded and weak-willed people. Yes, 100%. Or people that are too, I would say that their victim mentality is too high to ever take accountability for anything that they fucking do and look for a scapegoat to blame it on, or communists or socialists.
I like the communist answer seems more right to me.
But
what do you think?
I think that when a society is failed by its leadership, by the quote unquote people that think they're better than everyone else, the people that control and have the most power or whatever, when you see that someone has everything and you have nothing, and no matter how hard you work, no matter if you do everything correctly, you do everything right, if you're still getting screwed and you don't win, well, that's the kind of thing that makes you disavow certain beliefs and turns normal, rational people into communists, especially when you can't afford an education, when the institutions themselves have been captured by people who don't actually want to teach, but would rather turn you into a useful idiot and a soldier for their cause, even though they themselves don't give a flying fuck about you.
But they said they did.
Yeah, well, Hassan Piker also said he didn't shock his fucking dog, and he did.
Damn it, you're right.
You're probably wondering, what the fuck does this have to do with Twitch? Well,
there's a lot to do with Twitch. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, for the people I just described. Yeah. Why I had to explain that is because that is the kind of mentality that runs rampant, not just on Twitch, but on the internet in general. And all that compounded with a lack of social skills, with the destruction of like true community, the erosion of culture, the erosion of entertainment, and the rising cost of everything. It's the perfect storm to create your average Twitch viewer. Not everyone, but average. And it's sad. It really is, because I don't think it's right to take advantage of people, whether it's somebody who's ill-informed, well-informed, whatever. If you have to cheat to get ahead, if you have to insult other people because you achieved something that you had no right winning, you blew up out of nowhere, or, you know, you're popular now, and do you think that makes you better than someone else? And your first line of thinking, and it's run so fucking rampant, not just on Twitch, but just the internet in general. People run to fucking sell out almost immediately. They'll sell you anything. They'll fucking sell you their own goddamn grandmother, it seems like, you know? And most of the time it's not even for anything actually worth a damn. It's mostly for just fucking clout, for attention, to stay in the news cycle slightly longer, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the culture that the leadership, the higher ups, the management at Twitch have cultivated. People make a lot of money doing that kind of shit. A donation to a Twitch streamer is a donation to Twitch itself. A ticket to TwitchCon is money that goes directly to Twitch, you know? And even if you don't give them money, I don't donate, I just watch, you know? Advertisements are still a thing.
Still gives them money.
Yeah. Ads are still a thing. Twitch has turned on ads for streamers that turn them off, trying to recuperate money. Yeah, Twitch loses.
And then there's Asmongold, where they had to turn them off.
Yeah.
No, like straight up, they don't run ads on his channel. You don't even need a sub or anything. Like, you physically won't get an ad.
I'm going to just tell you this. I don't get an ad on any channels on Twitch. I'll let you figure out, ladies and gentlemen, why that is. But I don't see a single ad on Twitch.
Yep.
And I'm only...
Don't tell YouTube about that.
I don't see a fucking... No, I see some. But I don't see a single ad on Twitch. How I do that? You figure it out. I believe in you. I believe in your intelligence, especially if you've watched this far.
I don't.
That is true. The only individuals that watch this are my fish.
Yeah. They don't have hands.
No, they don't. They've been assholes recently, too. So.
No, but so have you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't jump out of the area that gives me life and dry up on the floor, you know?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Like, we can sit here, we can talk circles around why Twitch sucks, but at the end of the day, none of it matters. Because here's the thing. There's established competition. YouTube is pushing their streaming. You have Rumble. You have Kick. You have some other ones, I'm pretty sure, you know, but none of them hold a candle to Twitch. One, because of the infrastructure Twitch built. It's a lot like Discord. It's a lot like Steam, except Steam is a decent fucking company, where the infrastructure that's been built is so good that it gives you the illusion that there's nowhere else, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder. It's a lot bigger of a ask, like for creators, like people that actually want to make a difference, people who are sick of Twitch, to say, look, I'm picking up all my subscribers, I'm picking everything up and just moving on. It's real easy to say once you've already made all your money off fucking Twitch, you know? It's real easy once you've made your money. But for a lot of people, it's not an option. The viewership that they would get would plummet. And I understand it. Once again, at the end of the day, it's all about relevance. I get it. But I ask to you, to any creator that's watching this at all, what is more important to you? Making money, securing your bag, being selfish in a sense, or standing up for what everyone knows is right, for what everyone wants the world to be like, and actually taking that step to move away and punish individuals who make bad choices, not out of ignorance, but out of malice. And I'm not saying that YouTube, Kick, Rumble are free of any wrongdoing. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am trying to say, and Twitter, can't they stream on Twitter now too?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But Twitch is different because it does this kind of stuff every single day. And whenever you mess up, whenever I mess up, if Coolshirt were to mess up, or maybe not Coolshirt, but you admit your fault, you apologize, you put the Burger King crown back on the rack for a little bit, you don't bring it out for just any occasion.
That's right. Only for special occasions.
Only for special occasions like birthdays, holidays, plane trips,
car trips, long car trips.
Yeah.
Very useful for those, by the way.
Yeah.
Surprised we haven't seen more of those.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you need to be the change. You need to be the individual that says enough is enough. You're not changing for the better. You're stagnating, and I don't want to be a part of this. That's not even talking about the viewbotting allegations. That's not talking about the female special treatment. That's not talking about the left-wing special treatment. None of that. But if you see somebody that is in the same, in the same area as you, and they're bigger than you, they're more successful than you, and they get struck down, they get booted off, they're making an example out of them. They're telling you that if we do this, if we're willing to do this to this person, we're sure as hell willing to do this to you. And it's been established. Everything I'm saying right now has been said. Yeah. Nothing new here. But what I'm hoping is that you start making a change. I know I personally have. I don't watch creators that if they have an alternative to Twitch, I watch on the alternative. Whether it's YouTube, which I have issues with, X, which I have issues with. I don't use Rumble or Kick. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't.
I do.
He does. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. There's old professional time waster stuff on Rumble, but that's a thing for a different day. At some point, it has to crumble. And it's scary. It really is. But at the end of the day, the internet, society, the world would be a much better place. Not if Twitch didn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. But if there were more morals and there was actual accountability for powers that think that they're unchecked. If not, they're just going to come, kick you off their platform, drag you to TwitchCon and chuck you into that foam pit that had like 1 inch of foam. And then what are you going to do? You're going to be lying there screaming that your scapula hurts. Mind you, I don't think Twitch would actually do that for legal reasons, but
I think they would for legal reasons.
There you go.
Allegedly.
That's my piece. You will never see a professional time waster stream on Twitch. Never. And
all right, I'll get them to fold, guys. Don't worry. We'll do the greatest Minecraft server playthrough known to Twitch kind.
There will, as long as I draw breath, there will never be a professional time wasters stream on Twitch because
all right. Well, he doesn't actually have to draw breath. I can just take all these ramblings, toss them into AI, and get like a fucking AI voice of just him going, I think I'm going to use my credit card.
I think I'm going to use my credit card. Specifically on Twitch. I'm going to use it to subscribe to random booby streamer number 752.
That's right. Wow, this booby streamer has 15 different camera angles. Wow. Wicked.
Wow.
I can see the hairs on her. I can see the hairs on her chest.
That is genuinely fucking vile.
All right, I think that's the good way to end it.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to end it. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, algorithm stuff, likes, subscribe, share this with people, all that.
Do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing. We got Twitch, we got Spotify. I'm working on other places too. More different kind of content coming soon. I've been cooking a Pokemon video for about a month and a half. It's almost ready. I promise you will be
Spicy.
disappointed. And on that note, take care of yourselves and have a good one.